All right, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Music on the Menu on the River. Alan K. Stout with you as I always am every Sunday night, 9 to 10 o'clock, bringing you regional artists doing their own original material from right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Hanging out with D.C. Taylor as I always am. D.C., good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Alan. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm excited because we kind of did this one on the fly this week. You know, we have guests and, you know, usually, as our listeners know, the artist that is going to be performing at Breakers for Music on the Menu Live comes in usually the last Sunday of the month. Mm-hmm. But once in a while, we'll just talk to people from the community that are doing cool things with music. We had Richard Briggs in talking about Briggs Farm Blues Festival. We had Will Beekman in from the Kirby Center talking about the Chandelier Series. We had Bill Orner in talking about the Susquehanna Breakdown, which they do at Montage, which is right now coming up here in May. And what I wanted to do tonight was talk to a guy I've known for a long time now, Edd Raineri, who hosts the Beatle Ed Fab 4 Hour on King's College Radio. Good to see you, Ed. Welcome.
Alan, no, let's be honest. I was hitchhiking. You stopped, you picked me up, and you said, hey, do you want to be on the radio? I said, okay, and here I am.
And here we are.
You know, so I lucked out, you know.
He even has that Beatles humor. No, but I mean, I've known Ed for a long time. I remember, I think it was about 10 years ago on your show, I recorded a couple of Beatle covers for the old Concert for a Cause record. I did Blackbird, and I did John Lennon's Watching the Wheels, and I think you played them both on your show.
We played them. People were still talking about
that show. I'm sure. We get requests all the time, I'm sure.
In fact, I remember sending you the video of that show to show you that you were actually on the air. Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I appreciate you, because that was all for charity, of course, too, I appreciate it.
You can get that video on the black market now.
Is it out there?
You're gonna pay a pretty penny, but you can buy it, you know?
Bootleg.
You know, but in addition to the show, which you do at King's, you also, over the last couple of years, have become a promoter, and you have been doing some shows at the Kirby. Congratulations. I know your Sean Clush show you did, I don't know, about 2 months ago. It almost sold out. You had 1,700 people there.
Yeah, we had a few seats left at the top of the balcony. Yeah. That was it.
That's at the jam-packed Kirby Center when you get up into the 1,600 range. Yeah. And you're doing a show coming up this Friday night coming up, Liverpool Legends.
Yes.
Which is the complete Beatles experience. And so I wanted to bring you in and talk about, you know, all of that. So we're going to talk about it during the whole show. But real quick, give us everybody... You see you musicians tell it all the time. You know, when was the moment you know you wanted to become a musician? When did you know that this is what you want to do for a living? And the people that were growing up in the early 60s, whether they were 5 years old at the time, 14 years old at the time, they always talk about that Ed Sullivan moment. And that was it. That changed my life. I've seen that interview with those words from so many musicians over the years. What's your Beatle moment? When was that moment when that band resonated with you, where you said, this is amazing, this is something I am into?
Well, there's no doubt it was February 9th, 1964. It was the Ed Sullivan
I didn't know if
show.
You were old enough to
yeah, I know, I'm very young looking, aren't I?
Yeah, I mean, really, that's why I didn't know if you remembered watching that. I really didn't know.
Flattery will get you everywhere. You looking for free tickets or what? Wait, you already have them.
Thank
All
you.
Right. No, really, I guess I was about 11 or so, and I just remember, and you know what?
You're 11, okay.
I wanted to watch some other program that night, and I'll remember my dad, he's gone now, he said, no, we're going to watch the Ed Sullivan Show. And I didn't know they were going to be on, and I remember doing this little temper tantrum. No, I don't want to watch the Ed Sullivan. I don't. And he made us watch it. I don't think he knew what he was in for. Because I got to tell you, to the day he died, he never liked the Beatles.
Oh, wow.
He used to send me back to the barber shop and say, get it cut again. Get it cut again. Anyway, when these guys came on, and it was black and white TV at that time, and they had on these black suits.
Oh, yeah, we've all seen the clips.
Yeah, the hair was outrageously long.
Which now is not at all.
Yeah.
You know?
and they were just so cool. You know, the movements, the attitude, the dress, the haircuts, the suits, the songs. They were a phenomena, and it'll never happen again, ever.
I don't think it will, like, in that way, like, just, you know, boom. I mean, everybody was excited they were coming. You know, we seen the clips of the people at the airport, and they had some hits on the radio at the time. That's why them coming was a big deal. But I think that seeing them that night was one of the signature moments in pop culture history.
And I got to tell you this, it's one of the reasons why at the upcoming Liverpool Legends show on May 26th at the Kirby, I am bringing in an Ed Sullivan from New York City. He's one of the best in the world. His name is Jeff DeHart. And in fact, his best friend is Bob Saget from America's Funniest Home Videos. They have co-hosted together. And there are two excellent top-of-the-line Ed Sullivan impersonators in the world. And guess what?
And he's going to introduce
the
Beatles at the Kirby?
And when they're doing costume changes, he's going to come out and play with the audience.
Nice.
He's just so funny. And when you see his picture, and you might see it on Facebook,
right?
It's exactly
Was he at the show you did about 2 years ago?
No, I didn't have him for that.
Okay.
That was 1964, the tribute.
Right. You promoted that show as well.
Very successful show.
That was a great show.
You know, there are only, in my mind, 3 top...
Let's talk about that.
Okay,
I want to talk about some of the others, because I get confused with them all myself, and I know you could help us sort it out.
Absolutely.
I'm going to play some music here now, though. This is by a guy you know, Eddie Apnell, his old band, The Mere Mortals. There's a little John Lennon reference in this song, so I thought you'd appreciate it. This one's called Unreal.
I love Eddie. Go for it.
Not in the face you see, just part of this game, just part of my misery. I bought a ticket for the real thing, and how was I to know where it would lead me? This lonely rain seems never ending, and all I know is when she cries, I bleed. It's all so unreal. Maybe something Lennon used to feel. It's far, far too unreal. There's nothing better left for me to steal. Was I moving too fast? Was it all a mistake? Did I treat her like glass? Did I hope she would break? Did I hope she would break these walls I'm building? How am I to know she still needs me? This lonely rain just keeps on falling down. She's crying again, you know that when she cries, bleed. It's all so unreal. Maybe something Lennon used to feel. It's far, far too unreal. There's nothing better left for me to steal. Maybe something Lennon used to feel.
still answer in his very own way and said I have to be sure, but I was afraid I might find. As for the nights, they tell me to stay, no, I ain't alone, everything's alright. So I'm going to leave and come back home to you, but this day said to keep me inside.
Strawberry Jam here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Rubber Room. Kind of has that little Beatles, Sgt. Pepper kind of vibe to it on that one. So that's why I threw that one on tonight. And before that, Mere Mortals with our buddy Eddie Apnell singing that one with a song called Unreal. And there's some John Lennon references in that one. That's why I throw that one on. Because we got Beatle Ed in the house. We got to go Beatles tonight. And we're talking about his show that he's promoting Friday night at the Kirby Center, Liverpool Legends. Before we got playing some tunes, Ed was talking about how, in his opinion, there really are only a couple of real worthy Beatles tributes out there. Now, I know there's one coming here to the casino this summer on Party on the Patio. I forget which one that is. I just saw the cast of Beatlemania up at the Woodlands about 2 weeks ago. I was confused about that, Ed, because I was like, what's the difference between the cast of Beatlemania and Beatlemania? You mentioned the 1964 band that you had. Yeah. There was one, I think, that came to the Kirby about a year ago that their thing was that they didn't try to look or act like
Fat
them.
Foe, yeah.
They were just all about reproducing the sound. I heard that was a really good...
they're coming back to the Kirby later in the year.
So, I mean, there's a lot of them, is what I'm saying.
There is. You know, around the world, I think there are a couple thousand Beatles tribute bands. But let's be honest, you know, there are some very, very good ones, and there are some very bad ones. You know, in my opinion...
I trust your opinion on this. This is your thing. You know?
If I'm putting my money up to bring them into the Kirby Center, and it's a lot of money to do a show. I mean, people don't. The group shows up in a bus, so you put them on stage, sell some tickets.
No, it's not how it works.
It's very complicated. There are three that I have the utmost respect for. 1964, the tribute. I brought them in.
That was a great show 2 years ago,
June of 2015. On my radar at the time, and it took me 2 years to get them, was Liverpool Legends.
Okay.
And they will be at the Kirby on the 26th of May.
Okay.
And there's one more, but I'm not going to reveal it yet.
Because you're still trying to get them?
They're on my list for down the road. But Cast of Beatlemania is good. I think Lenny Colacino is involved with that. He was originally from Scranton. I believe he lives out in Jersey now.
Yeah, I saw him at the Woods a couple weeks ago. It was fun.
Some of these bands...
The guys are getting older now, so that's the hard part. You know, you're playing guys that were 23, and you're 55.
You see, a lot of these bands, they have members come in and out. They have like the B team, the C team, the A team. You get 1964, the tribute. You get Liverpool Legends for it. They've been playing together for years. They don't farm guys out. And
these guys are sort of endorsed by Louise Harrison?
Well, yeah. That's
George Harrison's sister has basically given the thumbs up to these guys.
Yeah, about 3 hours ago, I had on the phone Marty Scott for my show, and he just hit it off with her many, many years ago. It was right after George's death.
Okay.
And they met up, and he had a really George Harrison look to him, and we were kind of, I hate to say it, we were kind of making fun of Louise a little bit because she felt this was like a gift from God that her brother had just died, and then Marty walked into her life, and they decided that they were going to put together one of the best Beatle bands on earth, tribute bands, and they've been now
So his
doing
sister was actually involved in putting the band together.
She handpicked them.
Oh, wow.
She handpicked the band. And she's been traveling with them almost for 15 years. Now, I wanted her to come out.
She's got to be up
Kirby
there
show.
herself.
Right? She's 85.
And she's still traveling.
But I got to tell you, when you talk to her, she's so vibrant. She's 25. You know what I mean? She was supposed to come out to the Kirby show, but she's having some health problems. And we all decided that it would be best if she not come out.
Okay. She live in the United States?
She is living down in Missouri now.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's been here almost the whole time, from Beatlemania till now.
Okay.
But what I love about Louise, she can go back and tell the old stories. She was actually at the Plaza Hotel in New York City the weekend they came to America in February '64. You'll recall George Harrison had the flu. He was sick as a dog. He stayed in bed the whole weekend. They weren't sure he was going to make it to the Ed Sullivan Show. Imagine that, the most historic Sullivan Show of all time, and one of the Beatles almost couldn't go. Well, she nursed him back to health that whole weekend in his room, just taking care of him with doctors and medications, and they kind of drugged up, not in a bad sense, they drugged up George to get him on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool because, a story like that, obviously she had a role in pop culture history herself, and she has put her stamp on this band that's coming on Friday night that Ed's bringing in. We're going to talk more about it in a bit. Let's keep the music rolling here with Miz. This one's called Broken Wheels.
Quiet daydream one more time to sift through the madness in my mind. Broken wheels stop spinning round and turn my smiles upside down. Well, I want to thank you for leaving me, 'cause I was so broken that I couldn't see. The only thing holding me back was you, and now I'm alone when each day is through. And this is for all the good times we used to share, and this is for all the good times still out there. I want you to know that you're still beautiful, you see. And it don't matter how many lovers you've been through since me. See, there's a warmth in your soul that shines in your eyes when we wake up Sunday mornings, lying side by side. And there was a short time when things were good, and in that short time I treated you like I should. want you to know that I still dream of you each night. And I don't care where you wake up or if it's right, 'cause sometimes the feeling, it gets so deep. But sometimes the mountain, oh you know it's just too steep. And this is for all the good times we used to share. And this is for all the good times still out there. I want you to know that you're still beautiful, you see. And it don't matter how many lovers you've been through since me. There was a time in late September when I left it all behind, holding on to nothing but the wheel that drives my mind. And I heard your tires spinning in the mess I left back home. I just hope you know that right now we're both better off alone. So if this is the last good time we get to share, and if there ain't no more good times for us out there, I want you to know that you're still beautiful to me. And there'll still be that place inside where you'll always be. Quiet daydream one more time, to sift through the madness in my mind. Broken wheels stop spinning round and turn my smiles upside down.
Kate here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Pieces of You. And before that, Miz with a song called Broken Wheels. I did a show at the Jazz Cafe in 2005, a tribute to John Lennon. We did it on the 25th anniversary of his death, December 8th, 2005. And so I was putting the show together tonight, Ed. I was thinking of some of the artists that performed at that show and had performed Beatles or John Lennon solo material that evening. And Kate was one of the artists that came down that night and did a nice job as well. So, you know, when I was putting that show together in 2005, finding artists that were Beatle fans that wanted to be a part of it was not a problem.
I didn't think it would be. Yeah, who doesn't love the Beatles?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now, you know, one of the things that's cool about your show, because I've listened to it and you promote it well on Facebook too with the guests that you're going to have on, is you have formed some really nice relationships with people like we were talking about, like Louise Harrison, like surrogate members of the Beatle family, the extended family, you know, a friend of or a family member of. Who are some of the people? I mean, you were telling us during the break here that you received a letter once from George Martin. I mean, some of those relationships that you've built with people from the Beatles community, so to speak, who are some of the ones that stick out the most?
Yeah, it's a relationship business. If you treat people nice, they'll respond. If you're nasty, they won't. I remember when George Martin retired, I sent him a nice letter and I said, thank you for everything. Mm-hmm. That's all. I never expected a response. I must have got 4 paragraphs back.
Really?
And he signed it and he sent me a picture. And it's like, wow, the guy... He mentions Beatles in his letter. Wow, George Martin wrote a letter to me and mentions the Beatles.
That's pretty cool.
So I've got it on my wall at home.
I bet you do.
I got something from Yoko a long time ago. But I'm very, you talk about Louise Harrison, George's sister. She's been on my show about 4 times.
That's amazing.
I'm very good friends with Julia Baird, who's John Lennon's sister.
I was telling DC before. I said I think he knows someone from John's family. You know,
yeah.
I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if he knew his first wife at one time or it was his sister. That's right.
Yeah, and I've had recording engineers on the show from Abbey Road, EMI Studios, Richard Langham.
So when you're getting
Ken
these
Scott.
Stories, it's firsthand. You know, this is really how it was.
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm going to play a brand new one for you here now from Gary Carl. Some of you might know him better as Gary Katzjack. He put out a new record called Off the Grid, and this is a tune that I kind of dig. And you know, knowing Ed had just done a Sean Clush show at the Kirby a few weeks ago, I thought we'd throw it on tonight because Elvis reference in this one. Bagpipes and Elvis tunes from Gary Carl.
If I do what I've always done, will I get what I've always got? If I get what I've always gave, can I buy what I've always bought? If I see what I've always seen, will I think what I've always thought? If I learn what I've always learned, will I teach what I've always taught? Nothing says new like bagpipes and Elvis too. Yes, these are wondrous times for you and I. And time is on our side, and in the hands of our well-laid plans. Yes, these are wondrous times, smothered in demands of our well-laid plans. But time is like a melody with notes as blue as veins, bittersweetly sleeping off another sad refrain. Yes, these are troubled times for you and I. But time is on our side, and in the hands of our well-laid plans. Yes, these are troubled times, covered in demands of our well-laid plans. Whoa, and all the good that comes to me. Whoa, stops and starts here, in spite of me. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? This time is on our side, and in the hands of our well-laid plans. Yes, these are wondrous times, covered in demands of our well-laid plans. Whoa, but where do we go? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Bret Alexander here on Music on the Menu on the River, a song called Well Laid Plans. Before that, Gary Carl, brand new music, Bagpipes and Elvis tune. Bret's a big Elvis, well, I know he's like Elvis fan too, but a Beatles fan. I've seen him cover Norwegian Wood live many times. He did the John Lennon tribute that we did down at the Jazz Cafe that night as well in 2005. We're hanging out with Edd Raineri here, Beatle Ed, who's promoting the Liverpool Legend Show this Friday. And the Beatles have been doing a little promoting this week themselves, or the last few weeks, on their Facebook page, getting ready, I guess in about a month from now, for the 50th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. There's a special edition coming out with some remixes and extra tracks, most of which I'm sure you've already heard for years.
Well, let me give you a little insight on that. You're not going to believe this. Talk about karma at work. Karma, the remix 50th anniversary Sgt. Pepper, gets released on Friday, May 26th.
Really?
That is the date of the Liverpool Legend Show at the Kirby.
There you go.
Talk about karma.
That is karma. That is karma. You know, that is the record so many people point to as, obviously, you know, and then if you read the Beatles, they say, well, you know, we were very inspired by Pet Sounds. What is your favorite Beatles album, real quick, before we get to some more music?
I like the early stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you give me, I can nail it down to She Loves You as songs, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Ticket to Ride, A Hard Day's Night. Give me early Beatles.
You like that
and
Wop
I
Top
love
era?
it. Yeah, a lot of people like late Beatles.
Right.
Sgt. Pepper, Magical Mystery Tour, White Album. I'm an early Beatles guy.
fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's play another one now for you. This one, the 60s sort of English pop vibe to it. A song called Like Ian Hunter, brand new one from Chris Hludzik.
wish I could write like Ian Hunter, but I came around too late. Never did have his worm's eye point of view. Don't even know how I'd relate. I wish I could sing like Ian Hunter, rough but keying in time, straight from the throat, straight from the heart, racing rhythm and rhyme. Oh, I wish there were more Ian Hunters, then the world would be fine. They wouldn't screw around, tell it like it is, call it straight down the line. I wish I could talk like Ian Hunter, but I wouldn't be as cool. Couldn't pull off that cocky attitude, I'd just be another fool. I wish I could think like Ian Hunter, or at least get inside his mind. I'd never be at a loss for words, the answers I'd always find. Oh, I wish there were more Ian Hunters, then the world would be fine. They wouldn't screw around, tell it like it is, call it straight down the line. His sincerity means a lot to me, but no one will ever know. 'Cause all the good ones were taken so long ago. But there's only one Ian Hunter, I guess that'll do for now. 'Cause the truth from just one Ian Hunter is too much for the world anyhow. Just like Ian Hunter, just like Ian Hunter, just like Ian Hunter, just like Ian Hunter. Just like Ian Hunter, just like Ian Hunter. Just like Ian Hunter, just like Ian Hunter.
Promises we made in vain. I've seen our seasons change, and when you tried reaching out to me, I could
Is here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Love Like That. Play that one tonight, Ed, because of the nice harmonies and all. You know, sometimes the Beatles, you know, they did that so well. And then when they were young too. I mean, they didn't grow into that. They were doing that well when they were kids. And before that, brand new music from Chris Hludzik, a song like Ian Hunter. We're hanging out here with Beatle Ed, who's presenting Liverpool Legends Friday at the Kirby. And we're on the radio, and this is nothing new to you because you've been doing your show at King's College now for 7 years, man.
Yeah, there's nothing like college radio. There's so much freedom, and if you're at all creative, you can do so much with that freedom.
Tell our listeners who might not have heard, what nights are you on? And it's an hour show?
Yeah, we're an hour live every Friday night, 7 to 8. We just hit our 7th year anniversary, and we get a replay, I think, Saturday nights at 9 p.m.,
and you have some of these guests on, like we were talking about earlier, people that have been part of the Beatles family, you know.
Absolutely. In fact, about 3-4 hours ago, I spoke to Marty Scott, who plays George Harrison in the Liverpool Legends Band, and he'll be on the show Friday, this Friday for me. And there are just, I know everybody from the 60s, it seems. So Tommy James, good friend, Gary Lewis, Jad and Jeremy. I mean, we phone each other up.
Is that your favorite part of the show, having these guests on?
It is. You know why? It's like having a baseball card collection as a kid, and all these players come to life. You know, because I went out and I bought all the records, and now we're like friends with
now
people.
You know these guys.
I was best friends with Sid Bernstein, who brought the Beatles to Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
And I was at his house at his apartment in New York City. I mean, Sid would call me at my house.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you were a big 60s fan like I was, to now have a relationship with these people where you can call them up or they call you.
That is cool.
It's amazing.
That is really cool. Let's play another one here that has a real Beatles flair to it, particularly that mop top era that Ed likes so much. This is Tim Husty, Who's to Blame?
Oh no, who's to blame? Oh no, who's to blame? Oh no, who's to blame? Oh no, who's to blame? Not long ago, I've lost my girl, and I'll keep on searching until I know she's gone. Not long ago, she's gone away, and she'll never return until she knows I'm gone. She's gone away, night and day. It's okay because I know she was never only mine. She's gone away, night and day. It's okay because I know she was never only mine. Who's to blame? Oh no, 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 who's to blame? Not long ago, she's gone away, and she'll never return until she knows I'm gone. Not long ago, I've lost my girl, and I'll keep on searching until I know she's gone. She's gone away, night and day. It's okay because I know she was never only mine. She's gone away, night and day.
Tim Husty here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Who's to Blame? Very Beatles influenced song, obviously. Tim actually intentionally tried to capture the Beatles production sound, that George Martin sound of the early 60s on that recording. And the owner of our station, Vince Benedetto, who's a huge Beatle fan, I remember I played that for Vince, and he became a fan immediately as well. Tim did a great job.
I need to tell you a quick story. When Tim was on my show, I was busting him because the lyrics are, "Oh no, who's to blame?" And we listened to that, and at the end of the song, I said, "What are you blaming Yoko Ono for breaking up the Beatles? Oh no, who's to blame?" And he didn't realize that it sounded that way.
That is funny.
Very funny.
I never put it together either, so you did it, you know. And I got to mention, you can't see it on the radio, but Ed's a huge baseball fan, but I've talked to him about it before. He doesn't really have, I guess, a favorite team. He just likes wearing baseball hats. And he wore a Yankee hat tonight, so I don't know if you did that for me.
Well, you know, they are my favorite.
Are they?
And then in the National League, the Dodgers.
The Dodgers,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. Let's talk about Friday night, because this will be our last time to chat. Friday night, Liverpool Legends, FM Kirby Center, presented by Edd Raineri, Beatle Ed, endorsed, and the band was actually put together by George Harrison's sister. We still got 5-6 days to get tickets. Where can we get them? Usual places?
Yeah,
Kirby Box
the
Office,
usual.
Ticketmaster?
Yeah, KirbyCenter.org, 570-826-1100. They have never played northeastern Pennsylvania before, and they are quite excited about it. They just played a month ago. You're not going to believe this. A month ago, they were in Mexico City. They played before an audience of 18,000 people.
Unbelievable. And tickets vary about $29.50 all the way up to $49.50. Usual, you can figure that out, folks.
Yeah.
Down close a little more, up back a little more. But, you've got 4 choices to choose from, which is nice because I know a lot of people like that.
Yes.
And the show starts at 8 p.m. So, you get out, go downtown. Everybody knows how great downtown Wilkes-Barre is now with the restaurants and the bars and everything. Go out, hang out, have a good time, and check out this show. As Ed said, probably out of the thousands of Beatle tribute acts in the world, he would put this in the top three.
Top three. Yeah, absolutely.
And did they play in, I saw on your Facebook event, in London, did they play the...
Oh, let me tell you, these guys have been all over the world. They've played Carnegie Hall. You got to be pretty damn good to play Carnegie Hall.
There's a fabulous picture of them on your Facebook. It looks like...
Well, that's down in Mexico City.
Okay.
But they've also played the Cavern Club in Liverpool. They've played at the Rose Bowl. They've played Busch Stadium. They're on their way to Chile in a couple of weeks. They've been down in Ecuador. They've been in India.
Are they Americans or are they British guys?
They are Americans.
Americans?
Americans, okay. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I mean, please, guys, check this out. And, Ed, we love having people on that do things. Like I said, the Richard Briggs, the Will Beekmans, the Bill Orners, people that are investing in this community, trying to get things going on, presenting things with live music, which is obviously what we're all about here on the show. So on behalf of all of us here in Northeast PA, thanks for what you do, man, because you're helping us keep us entertained, and we appreciate it, man.
I had a great time here. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you.
We'll see you at the big show.
We'll see everybody. Hey, what else can we close it with? But we always close with the Badlees. That's our tradition. Never played this one on the show before. From Concert for a Cause 4, the album, the Badlees cover of the Beatles' Rain. We'll catch you next week.